Everyone get out!
Hello tankers and tankettes, welcome to some live gameplay, and I'm going to look at my pair of new acquisitions, my tier 10 tanks that I bought this past weekend, as I mentioned in my recent IS4 video. Now one of them is the E-100, which as you can see doesn't have the 15cm gun there. I almost said 150cm, I almost did it, but I caught myself just in time. It's the 128 I'm using, and I'm fairly familiar with this gun. I think it's actually got a slightly worse rate of fire than the mouse, but I had to recruit a new loader, so he's still being trained up. But even when deleted, I suspect the mouse will be the one with the... it's not that far behind though. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe the E-100 will have the better rate of fire with that gun. But I know the 15cm gun's got a really long reload time. Anyway, and then also I bought the Prius, the FV4202, which is the current tier 10 British medium, but that is, as we know, changing to become another Centurion, the Action X. Now, I enjoyed the Centurions, and as I also mentioned, the grind through the Centurion 7.1 to get to tier 10 was my fastest ever, and also included getting my first ever Mark of Excellence. And that's just because I really don't play any one tank enough, which is kind of what you have to do to get the Mark of Excellence on your vehicles, is just keep hammering away at a particular vehicle. And just because I've been playing this so much over the last, 3 weeks, and that is, even with premium, that is a crazy amount of grinding for me in terms of putting that much playtime into one tank and unlocking a tier 10 that quickly. So if you've got a premium account and you put your mind to it, it can go quite quickly, comparatively speaking. But yeah, you have to enjoy the tank you're doing it in. I couldn't imagine doing that in a tank I really wasn't enjoying. In fact, that's why it took me so long to get up to some of the higher tiers that I'm now at. And there are some tanks that, like the Panther 2, for instance. I enjoyed the Panther, and there's always something about my Panther crew that's slightly weird. I can't quite figure out what it is. But the Panther 2 I enjoy playing, and I'm slowly getting towards the E50, but it just... I don't know, the Centurion was okay, and the Centurion 7.1 I found really enjoyable, so those are the ones I went with for grinding the medium mission, and that's how I wound up with a tier 10. Although, having bought the E-100 at 15% off, I then discovered the next top of the tree for the beginning of October is going to be the E-100 at 30% off, so okay then. I've wasted some of my fake internet monies. Oh no, how will I sleep at night? So we're going to start off with the E-100, and we'll see what happens. I've had some thoroughly lackluster games in this so far. Oh, good artillery, that's what we want. Honestly, I can't see this ever replacing the mouse as an enjoyable tank. I think it's the 15cm that really gives it its flavour, because to be honest with the 128, it's a bit more mobile than the mouse, but because it's got this really massive lower front plate, it's way easier to hurt, I think, than a mouse, if you know what you're doing. In the mouse, you've got still a decent chance of angling enough that you're going to bounce even people's premium rounds, but that doesn't really seem to be so much the case with this. And the turret as well, you still have to remember to angle it, because you've got such a larger flat surface to fire at, again, it seems like it's more prone to being damaged by things like the tier 10 tank destroyers, or even people just firing premium ammo. The most annoying thing still to come across, apart from the high tier tank destroyers, is still another E-100 that's just spamming heat at you with 15cm, and it can just go straight through the front of that turret like it's not even there. So that's yeah, it's never going to replace the mouse as my favourite tank, but I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to grind out the 15cm eventually, and we'll see how that goes. The extra mobility is alright, but yeah, it's no mouse. It's no mouse. And I know I'm totally irredeemably hipster when I say things like that, because most people will go, oh yeah, this one's the stronger tier 10 by far, even though with the German tier 10s they're not that popular. But no, for me it's always going to be the mouse. And there is actually one additional thing that bugs me about that 15cm gun, and we'll see when I get there. And Jingles and others have touched on this, but it's basically premium ammo bait, that gun. It's got almost 100 extra penetration with its premium ammo, and the regular AP ammo is pretty terrible. It's 235, which at tier 10 that is pretty terrible. But the premium is 300, and it's a lot more. Ah, screw it, let's just go for it. And I just think that's honestly kind of crazy. And there's the T92, GG. I might just be able to repair in time, but... So, you know, this is the bane of my existence, is premium ammo. And that's just almost GG already. Look, just front of the turret, no problem. Just, yeah, no, okay. I think we can chalk that one up to artillery. Yeah, we'll come back to that. But like I was saying, it's there's a couple of tanks like that in the game, like the T-54, which again had its premium ammunition untouched the last time round that there were nerfs. The Super Pershing is another prime example with seriously lackluster regular ammo and for its mobility anyway, and then you get its premium ammo, which, you know, just mysteriously happens to have over 100 extra penetration, or is it nearly 100? Again, it's nearly 100. I mean, it's a crazy extra amount. It's like tier 10 heavy levels, 260 pen or something like that compared to 170. So there are just some tanks in the game that are like that, that are explicitly there to sell premium ammunition. And that kind of bugs me. So yeah, let's wait for this battle to be over, and then we'll have another go, because that was not fun, mostly thanks to artillery. Thanks, artillery! You make this game so much better. So I just thought I'd come back in for the end of this match, because it's ended up being ridiculously close. Yeah, the enemy team have a 50B who's left on 89 health. We can see our 121's got 148 health, and the IS-7's got a bit more. He could take at least one hit. But they really have to stick together. Now, I've been thinking about... I probably shouldn't have tried to get to the rock. Conversely, it was the fact that there was artillery that made me think, you know, that's the one sort of arty safe spot, maybe, potentially, on that flank, depending where the enemy arty's gone to. But, yeah, I just... I don't know, I thought if I get there in time, maybe I'll lose a bit of health, but as it happened, no. The T92 plus the Heat 57 kind of saw, you know, they put pay to that, so... yeah, not my most glorious moment, but if I'd hung further back, I still probably would have been hit by artillery, but I wouldn't have been nailed by the Heat 57, so that, I probably could have survived that. I, you know, would have lost a big chunk of my health, but I could have maybe tried to influence things a bit. So yeah, I think that was partially my mistake, but I suspect I was likely to be hit by artillery either way. So it's all down to this IS-4 now. If he can take the hit and kill the 50B, then we've got this, but this has just ended up being silly. Oh, and there's that IS-4 armour, and bam, there we go, that's really close. And that came down to... that just was right down to the wire, that really was... that could have gone either way at several points. So that was, yeah. Although that was a win, we're going to try that again, because I did not acquit myself well in that particular game. Ooh, that's some repair cost. Yeah, yeah, he had a good game, that IS-4. 3075 came second. I'm not quite sure why, to be honest. I know he's a tier 7 tank, but even so, that isn't a particularly impressive amount of damage or spotting. So yeah, I don't know. He actually came ahead of a 121, you know, only just with 5,000, so who knows? So, yeah, let's have another shot at that. That could have gone better. Most of my games have been so far fairly lackluster, and maybe I'm not getting the playstyle of this yet, because I'm not 100% sure what to do with it. But I sometimes had that problem with the E75 as well. I just wasn't quite sure where to take it. Whereas on most maps in the mouse, I've got a fairly defined idea of, okay, you know, these areas are good for me. I can push, or I can defend, or whatever, you know, depending on the team setup. But I don't quite know with the E-100, to be honest. And also, I found when you're toting this gun, people just aren't really that scared of you. It's, like I said, I think one of the defining factors of the E-100 is that 15cm gun. And if you don't have that, and if you don't have, you know, even if you're not necessarily spamming heat ammo, if you don't have the 15cm gun, then people know for sure that there isn't even the possibility of you spamming heat ammo, so they're not going to be wary in the same way. So I think we'll try our hand at going south and doing a bit of side scraping and all that kind of thing, and see how that works out. Not sure what that 131's doing. 132 rather. You don't need to do a 3-point turn to get out the cap circle. Usually you can just do it. Unless he's one of these drivers He might just be waiting till a certain point and then he's going to make a scout run or whatever. So that's a lot of tanks going north. I mean, I could try. I mean, this is better matchmaking, certainly. And it's a better map in terms of not just getting whacked in the face for 1,000 damage by a T-92. But that still might happen. Yeah, I really don't want to go too far, do I? No. And that's kind of bad, because normally, I mean, this is one of the things you look at when, if you see an enemy team and you see people doing this, then 9 times out of 10, what it means is if you are pushing up a flank unopposed, either occasionally you'll actually run into like a whole horde of enemies that are playing defensively, but what it usually means is that actually there's only a couple of people on that flank, and at that point you either know that you have to go back and defend another flank, or you just push on and hope that you don't get that one case out of 10 where actually no, there's quite a lot of stuff just waiting for you. So it's yeah, being on the opposite side of that, being one of the few people that's trying to defend a flank, is not particularly great. Because if the enemy have more than a few, and they have any, you know, if they have their wits about them, they'll know that they can afford to be fairly aggressive, because there's not going to be that much actually shooting in their direction. So we'll just have to wait and see what the enemies do. I think, you know, the fact that we aren't in the middle there, or that we aren't contesting down there, that's... If you're looking at the minimap and you see that from a team, that's quite telling. So we'll just have to hope that North does their job, and I'm playing more defensively than I like. But in a platoon, I mean, I play kind of differently playing on my own than I do in a platoon. In a platoon, I'm much more likely to, you know, we'd be up here, we'd be helping the push happen and then coming back. But I feel like as a single player, when you're not cooperating with somebody in that same way, that it's a lot easier to... you just have to almost go where you need it and get stuck in. Right, that's not especially good. There's the IS-8. Oh, well, I can hurt him if I can hit him. But this gun may not be the best for that. I'm trying to keep my lower front plate away from him, but not showing too much side. Which is kind of a problem I have sometimes with this tank. And it's funny complaining about the accuracy of this gun. I know the 150mm one, well, I should say 15cm, is actually going to be a lot less so. So I'll keep the turret angled in between shots. Hope that I don't have too much side, you know, too much side showing here. There we go. That's all right. That bounced, and that's an IS-8 down. And what's the other one doing? I also have to be conscious of artillery, of course. Nope, I'll just see his turret. Oh, that's sneaky. He managed to get right underneath there without being spotted. The 704 dies, that's going to be bad for us. Yeah, he's getting to cover. We don't have eyes on the other guy though. Nope, nope. Can't get the turret round in time. Yeah, the E5 moved up. Right, if there's nothing behind him, I know he's just fired. Let's see if we can put some fire in him. No, I think I got his tracks. I was going for the axle, but that's kind of a tricky shot when somebody's on the move. And precision shots with a gun like this are, you know, it's the same with a mouse. It's not a sniper by any means. Nope, that didn't even hit his tank. So, yeah, they're not being too aggressive though. They're not pushing. It's not. We're not that outnumbered. 3 versus 4. Oh, there's another E5 back there apparently. Oh no, there isn't. It's just the same one, and he's back in. I guess I'm going to have to... I sort of have in my mind, oh, it's an E-100, it does more damage, but with this gun, actually, no, it's going to be a lot more like the mouse. I suppose I'm a mouse with worse armour at the moment, which is maybe going to be a bit sad. Right, if he finishes off the 215B, that is such bad news for me. I am going to badly need help now, because they can just rush me. But, on the plus side, this is, in fact, the last few tanks, so... In fact, you know what? This is probably completely stupid, but we've won. Revving speed! Oh, he reloaded. The Leo got him. Yeah, I just went YOLO there. I really didn't need to. This is the last 2 tanks, so you know. You might as well get some damage. Also, I got to ram something, so that makes me happy. Okay, well, I think I've redeemed myself from the last match, slightly, maybe. And there we go, a kill! Yeah, that was better, that was better. Yeah, they could have pushed that. They could have been a lot more aggressive, but they let us whittle them away first, basically. They were too cautious. Sometimes, you know, a bit of feeling out is good, but if you just continue to play cautiously, sometimes you just need to go for it. And of course, in a random battle, that can be really tough, getting people to go with you. Sometimes you end up just throwing your tank away and everyone else is sitting behind you going, oh, were we supposed to do something? Were we, yeah, and that can be intensely frustrating, but, you know, occasionally it works out. So there we go, that wasn't too bad on the team list. I still have a long ways to go to that top gun, though. It's, what, 64,000, nearly 65,000 XP. Yeah, it's not a cheap gun. So, let's have a go at the FV. And I've been playing this more than E-100, I must say. I don't think it's amazing by any means. It doesn't... There's something about the Centurion 7.1 that's just... I don't know. This thing, I mean, the DPM is really good. The mobility is okay. But the turret is quite lackluster, and although the frontal armour is decent, most people that know what they're doing just end up shooting you in the turret. And if you're angling your sides, well, your front too much, you just get a shot in the sides as well. So, yeah. But that said, I mean, the power to rate ratio is pretty decent. I do enjoy the rate of fire. I know the gun, the L7A1's a very, very decent medium gun indeed. It has almost the punch of a heavy tank gun. I mean, the Alpha is actually comparable to the lower tier Russian 122mm, and in penetration it's comparable to some of the heavy tanks, so it's really nice. Maybe that's why I like the Centurion 7.1, because it's almost heavy firepower in it. A medium tank package that actually has really good gun handling and also even a little bit of armour to work with. So that's just a nice combination, I think. So the only downside, the only, I think, thing that makes people not particularly like that, and, you know, as you can see from here, it goes 40. And that's all it goes at. But you accelerate to that really fast. It's like the TOG, you know, you accelerate to that top speed really fast. It's just, the top speed's not really anything worth writing home about. So, I'm not liking how this minimap looks. I am gonna make ready to run the hell away. I'm not going to push forward. The GWE might be there, or he might be there. If he's there, then you still have to be careful when you're here, because oftentimes you'll be sitting here and you'll end up taking an artillery shot, which is, you know, always nasty. But the fact that they've actually got more top tier heavy tanks and top tier medium tanks than we do. But well, they've got the same amount of top tier mediums actually. We got one more. We've got one more tier 10. But they have the heavies. We've got a lot of tank destroyers. Whoa, okay, let's run away. We're not gonna stick around for this. This is not good. No. And he's gonna know I'm alone because I'm backing the hell off. So it's not worth sticking around. I can't take both of those on with a Tiger 2. That's not worth it. So I've lost a chunk of health there, but it was. This was never worth... Well, I would die for sure if I just stayed there. Right, I can maybe get some damage in there. And this is a bit... Oh, crap, no, that's an IS, so we'll maybe try and get... In fact, no, we won't even try and get one more shot. I've just got to run away. This is a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, well, they had stuff on the hill, we didn't, and that is often fatal on Himmel's dorf. There's not a whole heap you can do about that. Yeah, E3, hello, I bought friends. I track him, at least. This is stupid. Look at this, look at the tags I've got chasing after me. Yeah, tier 10. This is a tier 10 battle, and we ignored the hill. And I don't know how you get to tier 10 and decide that this is a good way to play Himmelsdorf, but a lot of people do. So, yeah, again, we're just going to fast forward. I think this is only going one way. The team is fairly terrible. So, yeah, barring any last-second miracles, I shall see you back in the garage. So, yep, that result screen should surprise nobody at all. And you know what the best thing was? They still capped. They didn't need to. They could have crushed the last 3 tanks beneath their heel like a thing crushing another thing. Yeah, but no, they sat uncapped because reasons. I don't even know. So that was, yeah, that's why, you know, if you're watching this at home and you don't know, that's why the hill on Himmel's Dorf is really quite important. And that's why having it is often the difference between a win and a loss. And oh, good lord, it's Himmel's Dorf again. Okay, let's hope it goes slightly better this time. It is an encounter battle, but that means nothing. You can end up with encounter battles where everybody still just rushes right down the hill, headlong, and just ignores the fact that we still need it to win. So, fingers crossed. Matchmaking is less good this time as well for our team. Last time, the last match, we actually had a matchmaking advantage in terms of numbers, but not in terms of heavy tanks and whatever. But also, we had a distinct matchmaking disadvantage in that our players were considerably worse than their players for the most part. So, you know, yeah. This is why I don't use XVM, because, you know what, XVM wouldn't have told me anything extra for that battle. I kind of knew within the first, like, 30 seconds it was probably going to go that way. But you know why I still went to the hill? Because there was still a chance that actually it wasn't, that I would be wrong, and that you know, going to the hill would you know, maybe only 1 or 2 tanks from the enemy team would have gone to the hill, in which case we probably could have taken it and it might have turned out differently. Although given how the rest of the team was playing, frankly, probably not. I suspect that one was always going to be a loss. Some games are always going to be wins, some games are always going to be losses. It's just a matter of doing what you can to hopefully tip the balance between the two things, the two outcomes. So let's, yeah, this is the kind of thing that other people are good at that I'm not, is that kind of pulling off that kind of snapshot, is kind of firing on the move. So there's at least one arty that's trying to nail this area. See if we can't get that pattern. Nope. I don't know what the best place to shoot the pattern turret is, to be honest. I kind of went for a turret cheek there, but maybe that's a stronger area. Oh, that guy's not going to last. I mean, we do have decent numbers up here now, though, at least. Right, is it worth peeking or not? Possibly not. I don't really have the reflexes. I don't even say the word. Reflexes for kind of sitting and peeking on this corner. Like, if you've got a tank with good handling and you've got good reflexes and you can just make it work, then that can be a decent option. There we go. But I don't have those things, so yeah. Can I make it back down again? I'm not quite sure what those guys doing. See, our arty's going to be screwed, but the rest of us are going to be screwed by the end coming up behind us anyway. T-34, right. T-57 Heavy's going down. We could easily get caught in a nasty pincer movement. We should have enough tanks on the hill to hold the hill. Are there T-57? Yeah, and the Leo, they're actually platooned, so that's when you that's why platooning, you know, you can do a thing like that. You can really change the outcome of a battle. Oh, no, I don't know where that shell went, to be honest. I might actually have to sacrifice some of my hit points to keep our 57 Heavy alive. Right, side of this turret there. But I don't want to donate too many. Oh, nice, nice. There's a one shot. You know what? Screw it. We're going to take the hit. Well, how about I just... You know what? It's probably easier if I just auto-aim in this kind of situation. Right, we'll go after the Leo. Is that worth doing? No? No, okay, we'll try coming up behind them. I'm not sure the hill's looking too clever, actually. They've got a waffle, they've got a T-54. Our T-57's going back up. I can hopefully... I'm actually going to... You know what? I'm going to load... that's excellent driving on my part. I suspect I'm going to run into enemy arty first, so I'm going to load up a round of Hesh. I might even get to shoot it at the waffle E-100 as I go past. As they're kind of like shooting as you go past shots, those are the kind of shots I... Oh, well, this is going to do nothing at all, but... going. Boom, there we go. I wonder if it's worth trying to get another shot in him. He is a major target. Nice. I should have had another shell of Hesh loaded there actually, but he's now one shot. And we shall see. Can't find their RT. Our T-57 Heavy, I think, going back up has saved the hill. Damaged that guy. Yeah, 1390 in theory can take him out. And scumbags. There's one scumbag. No idea where the other scumbag is. Other side maybe. Yeah, my driving's so good. Yeah, there's one. Let's see if we can intercept this 1390 to get a bit more damage. I'm not doing the mission at all today. Oh, yeah, I've still got Hesh loaded. Well, someone else got the kill. Bad chat! You're stuck! You're stuck to me, bad chat. Why are you stuck? He's got glue on the side of his tank, or I don't even know. Wait, what? Nah, someone else is going to get that kill. Anyway, yeah, see, that's again demonstrating the importance of the hill in Himmelsdorf, which some people still don't get, even in a tier 10 battle. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, to get to a tier 10 battle, you have to have played Himmelsdorf. You know, even in the random rotation, Himmelsdorf is one of the maps that's been around for a while now, so you're talking at least hundreds of battles, if not, you know, over 1,000 or in the thousands, depending on your own how many, you know, your battle count. Actually, that'd be quite an interesting thing if you could see how many times you've played each map. But no, how do you play Himmelsdorf hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times and not join the dots together that, yeah, actually the hill's quite important? I don't know. Some people do somehow. Just have that terrible sense of pattern recognition. So that was a Hesh into the back of his, you know, and it only turned his gun yellow. I don't know. I just, with the L7A1 Hesh, I only kind of use it for artillery mostly. But even then, you know, you hit things like waffles and whatever, it seems to do no module damage at all. Like, the number of times I'll fire Hesh at somebody and actually kill crew members or turn internal modules red, I don't think I can actually remember a single one, to be honest. I mean, it must have happened, but I can't remember it. I remember looking at the end screen all those times and seeing that, oh yeah, no, I heshed that guy and it penned for full damage, and yet there's no module damage. Huh. So, yeah, I feel like that is... I know the Hesh implementation in World of Tanks is not great, but I kind of feel like in similar circumstances, if I penned with just a regular HE shell, that it would have been guaranteed to do some module damage, because that's how HE works. But not so with Hesh. It just doesn't seem to work that way, and it seems weird. Anyway, maybe that's deliberate. Maybe it's supposed to be like that it doesn't do module damage, or maybe it's just bugged. I don't know. So, as you can see, I've not really played many battles today, and I've not really made many credits, and, you know, 6 battles isn't really enough of anything to get your stats out of, you know, to get a feel for how you're playing on any given day. But I've managed some wins, and one of them had nothing to do with me. One of them was fun, and then there was that horrible loss in between, and then, yeah, that one was okay. That kind of shows off that this is an okay tank. It's not anything to get excited about, and I didn't play it before the buff, but I don't know, I think it's just... that's probably the highest praise you can give it, that it's okay. It's not particularly exciting, it's not particularly fun, although there will be people out there that really enjoy playing theirs, I'm sure. Everybody has... every tank, rather, has... you know, even the unpopular ones have their defenders, have their people that really enjoy playing them. That, you know, for whatever perverse reasons, that even though everyone else just thinks they're absolutely terrible, that... that they just... there's something about that particular tank that they just really, really like. Huh, Caption Guy seems to have taken control of my mouse. I'm not quite sure how that's happened, but I don't know, he seems to be trying to make some kind of point, but no, I mean, obviously when I'm talking about tanks like that, I don't mean the AMX-40, because everybody loves the AMX-40, right? It's amazing. I mean, look at it. It's the duck. Yeah, just... I'm the day they bring this out in HD, oh, that will be a good day. I will be, in the words of Jane Cobb, in my bunk. Anyway, on that note, wow. On that note, I will wrap up this video here. So you can do the usual things. You can hit the like button, you can leave any comments below, you can subscribe to my channel, and as always, stay tuned for more.